What's going on, guys? It's Jordan with the Brantford Exchange, and today I just want to go over what the MACD indicator is and how you can use it when determining whether to buy or when to sell a stock. So getting into it, this is the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform. It's 100% free. I'll put a link in the description below. We also have videos that go over how to use it in our settings. But to get your MACD indicator, let me take mine off. This is what the little graph is. So take that off and apply. All you have to do is go to your studies right up here. It'll come up with a search box. You want to click MACD, type it in, double click, and then it'll be on the lower quartile. We keep the settings default because we think that's when it's most effective. Hit apply, and then you see this pop up. Okay, so right now we're looking at Amazon. So Amazon, as you can see, it's been on the downtrend, and then it had a little push-ups, 2 peaks right here. You look at the MACD indicator, and then it pretty much corresponds with what the graph is showing. So what the MACD indicator is, it shows you the momentum of a stock. So it shows you what direction it's going to go or what it thinks that it might go in the future. So as you see here, it bottomed out. And then when you see these red bars, that's saying that the stock or ETF, whatever you're looking at, is oversold. So when you see these red bars start peaking out, it's saying, okay, this is way oversold. And then when they start declining, getting smaller, then it's starting to signal a good buy. When you see these change from red to green, that is probably the best entry point that you could possibly get into. Obviously, you want to use your other indicators to better confirm that it's going to start uptrending. But as far as MACD goes, that's probably the best entry point is when they're turning from red to green. And then the green is going to show you when it's overbought. When you start seeing these green bars peeking out, as you can see from this little line right here, when the green bars start peeking out, they start flatlining and then they start declining, getting smaller. That's when you want to say to yourself, okay, I want to start to sell this. Because when these bars start peeking out, the price is also going to peak out. When they start declining, the price is going to start declining. And then they start turning red. And then if it's following the previous patterns, you know, it's going to have a long term of red, a little bit of green, long term of red, green. So when it's starting to go from red to green, that's signaling a buy signal. When it's starting to go from green to red, that's signaling a sell signal. They actually have a setting on here, I believe. If you go back to your studies, go to your MACD, go to settings, they have show breakout signals. So if you put that on, click OK, click apply, it's going to show you these little arrows. So they even take it a step further to make it easier for traders. So obviously don't go 100% off of what this indicator is telling you. But like I said, just use it for reassurance. The red signal is a sell signal. And then it corresponds with the red bars. They're smaller, getting big. They peak out and then they start declining. So when you see them start declining, you say to yourself, okay, this may be a good buy. Then they have this little green arrow that's signaling a buy, as you see it correspond with the price, and then it actually starts trending back up. And then I drew a support and resistance right here, and you can see that it did peak out where those support and resistance, or well, in this case, it's a resistance. You see that the MACD indicator did peak out where that resistance line is. See, right here, peaked out, and then went down. You could even draw a support right here if you wanted. Like right around here, we'll put it. And then you see it bottom out, just like the MACD said, bottoms out, trends up, bottoms out, trends up. So obviously that's only using another indicator, the support and resistance lines, but you see how it corresponds with the MACD indicator. We could even go on another example. This is SQQQ. So you see it bounce off the SMA line about 3 times. You might say to yourself, okay, did I miss it? So say you wanted to get in off the next bounce on the SMA. It bounces up. You're like, okay, well, did I miss it? Because you don't want to chase a stock or ETF and then get burnt when it starts trending down. So you look at the MACD indicator, and it looks like it has more room to run. It signaled a buy signal. It's starting to curl back up. These green bars are starting to increase. The red bars were peaked out, as you can see here, peaked out, declined, signaled a buy signal, and now they're starting to grow. So I think that this actually has some more room to run, and that is how you use the MACD to give you a better understanding. If you look at previous patterns, you see a big group of red bars, peaks out, and then you have a buy signal, and then there's a pretty good period of green bars. So, and then the MACD still has some room to run. So if we zoom out, you know, it peaks, sells off really aggressively, and then it has a nice spike. Sells off really aggressively, has a nice spike. All that corresponds with everything up here. And given, you know, SQQQ is actually trending up, so that's more reassurance. You know, you draw your support and resistance lines. You have a support here. It's going to let me draw it. You know, support here. You keep in mind your resistance. So yeah, it could have a couple pullbacks, but if you're swing trading, which is mostly what the MACD indicator is used for, at least that's what I use it for, is swing trading, because it shows you the momentum of, you know, and the duration of how long a trend is going to last. So yeah, if it's gonna follow history, you know, then it looks like it has more room to run. It looks like these green bars can continue to grow. Yeah, they could decline sometimes, and then they push back up, but those are things that you're going to have to keep in mind. Those are decisions that you're going to have to make for yourself. Obviously, have your stop losses set. So if you get in down here, you want to have your stop loss set, a trailing stop loss, or wherever you got in. And we also have a video on the risk management. So if you are willing to risk like 2%, obviously put your stop loss in somewhere down here where it's 2%. But overall, the MACD indicator, it's a pretty simple indicator to use, but it's very effective. So that's honestly how you use it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to DM us on our social medias. Join the Discord chat to talk to us directly. Ask us questions on there. You can leave them in the comments below. But that's going to do it for today, guys. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a great week.